Republican Representative Byron Donalds has recently become more vocal regarding the White House's actions and decisions. Among the more contentious statements he has recently made was his strong accusation that President Joe Biden did not fully comprehend what he was signing off on when it came to critical legislation. According to Donalds, the president's lack of information may jeopardize the nation's future. The remark has provoked heated debate among politicians, analysts, and the American public, highlighting concerns about leadership, accountability, and the long-term consequences of the Biden administration's policies. Hello and welcome, Bossman viewers. Representative Donalds' remarks followed numerous key legislative moves done by the Biden administration. In interviews and speeches, Donalds accused the president of rushing through legislation without fully understanding its implications, citing the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan as an example of a program approved with little concern for its long-term economic consequences. Byron Donalds criticized President Biden for signing bills without fully understanding their implications, arguing that the rushed passage of significant legislation under Biden's leadership has led to costly measures that increase the national debt and undermine fiscal discipline. Critics, like Donalds, claim that Biden's focus on pushing progressive legislation through Congress has ignored the complexities of these bills and their potential negative effects on the economy and American citizens, suggesting that the administration has not adequately ensured the laws serve the public's best interests. Critics of President Biden, including Byron Donalds, argue that his leadership style is disconnected from the realities of how policies impact everyday Americans. They claim that Biden's decisions, particularly regarding economic issues like inflation and supply chain disruptions, often lack careful consideration. Donalds suggests that Biden's leadership is characterized by short-term solutions that fail to address long-term challenges. The economic consequences of initiatives like the American Rescue Plan and the ongoing Build Back Better program have fueled concerns about overspending and the administration's ability to manage public funds effectively. Of course, Biden's fans strongly disagree with Donalds' charges. They claim that the president is just doing what is necessary to solve the nation's issues, which range from the epidemic to the economic recovery. Advocates for the government point to the American Rescue Plan as a critical step that gave direct relief to millions of Americans, helped keep businesses afloat, and supported the recovery of the employment market. Democratic allies argue that despite the hurdles, Biden's measures have saved the country from a considerably greater economic collapse, particularly given the exceptional circumstances of the COVID-19 outbreak. What we saw with the rescue plan was the bold leadership necessary to address a once-in-a-lifetime crisis, said one of Biden's backers. It's easy to criticize from the sidelines, but the reality is that we were in a tough spot, and the American people needed swift action. Biden's supporters argue that his team thoroughly reviews legislation before it reaches his desk, ensuring that the measures he signs are well-considered and well-intentioned. They dismiss claims that Biden signs bills he doesn't understand, viewing such accusations as political attacks against the administration's achievements. On the other hand, Byron Donalds has gained significant support in conservative circles as a vocal critic of Biden, particularly in relation to economic recovery and foreign policy. His no-nonsense approach has resonated with those who believe Biden's leadership has been lacking. Donald's surge in the GOP has been spurred by his willingness to aggressively dispute Biden's judgments and expose what he perceives as a lack of accountability in the White House. His view on the Biden administration's legislative initiatives is consistent with broader Republican criticisms of Democrats for pursuing progressive objectives without considering the potential ramifications for taxpayers and future generations. Representative Donalds' claims underscore the continued conflict between the two major political parties. Republicans view Biden's plans as an excess of government power, whilst Democrats believe the president is simply attempting to shepherd the country toward recovery after a terrible period. As the next election season approaches, these divisions will continue to fuel the national discourse. Biden's leadership and the larger question of whether he fully understands the legislation he is signing will undoubtedly remain a hot topic among both supporters and detractors. Byron Donalds' charge that President Biden is unaware of what he is signing off on has resonated with many Americans who question the president's leadership style and the long-term consequences of his actions. Whether one agrees or disagrees with Donalds' assessment, the critique reflects a growing public worry about the country's direction and the role of leadership in molding its destiny. With the 2024 elections approaching, these arguments will surely continue to influence the political environment in Washington and abroad. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Your support keeps us going. See you next time.